Hello world. Yes, this is the most disturbing story I have heard in a long time. This is a story about two 19-year-old twin brothers who was found shot to death on a mountain in Georgia. And this part of Georgia is known as sundown time. Is that the term is Well, world, yes. If you never heard of the term sundown towns, it's actually a term that was used quite often in racist towns, and the so name was actually used by signs actually being posted, often found at their corporate limits, warning African Americans and other minorities not to be found in their town after dusk. Well, the historical history behind these sundown towns still exist, unfortunately. So fast forward to this recent case, and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is investigating the death on the Bell Mountain in Georgia, and the town was called Hawassi. I've never heard of it in Georgia. However, you can only imagine. According to the news articles, it reads that the GBI, which stands for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, is investigating. They have arrested and charged an individual by the name of Scott Curlin, who's 42, who lived in Hawassi with a misdemeanor obstruction. According to the news article, he's a volunteer firefighter in Towns County who took photos of the Lewis's twins' death scene and shared them publicly. Now, this is the most disturbing story ever because the update reads that the GBA, again, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's medical examiner, has completed the autopsies, but the official ME ruling and results are pending additional forensic tests. You can only imagine what the mother is feeling at this time of this horrific death. However, her family members asking the question, how did they end up in the mountains? They don't like to hike out there. They've never been out there, according to the aunt of the twins. The story, again, is so disturbing that I can't even grasp the words I really want to say about the suspect. Anyway, the suspect named Scott Curlin. He's a volunteer firefighter who's allegedly has shown photos to school personnel. How sick is that? And he shared the photos of their death scene and shared them publicly. Again, if this doesn't speak volumes that he is possibly more than likely the suspect, I don't know what does. Again, the exact quote reads, "This world has so many demons in their disguise as people." Well, this couldn't be a most truthful statement ever. This is the most heinous crime ever and so cruel. Ooh, it just boils my blood. However, pending the update regarding that individual who was charged, Scott Curlin, we hope to find the truth to this matter, and so further comment will be withheld until then. But in the meantime, watch out for those sundown towns because they do exist.
Those my nephews. Just a few weeks shy of their 20th birthday. I can get past it, they gone. The twins' uncle, Rahim Bronner.
They're very protective of each other. They love each other. They're like inseparable. So I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
Like if they were
FBI saying
to like
the
stop at the
preliminary
gas station.
investigation
I will say,
points to the
Georgia,
twins'
there's not
death
any.
being a murder-suicide.
We knew right away that wasn't true.
Family says the twins had a 7 a.m. flight to Boston last Friday.
Right there, we never heard from them. They missed their flight. We don't know what happened.
24 hours later, the twins' body found 90 miles away.
How they end out in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They never even been out there. nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did they end up right there?
They don't work, or they weren't. Sometimes they don't record. Like all the GDO, they don't.
Had a huge support system. Like, we know that they wouldn't do anything like this. So to say that they did this to each other when they come from a family of love, they love each other, they always together. We don't believe that. They didn't do this to each other. Something happened in those mountains, and